Good evening, everybody. Hey, Giraffe, Shy Smile, Sarah Bess. I think that's everybody. Sarah Bess is Kidney Stone. Welcome. Welcome to Adventure Night. We're here to play Tass Times in Tonetown, which was an Activision game, I think from Interplay. I'd never even heard of it until I started researching these adventure game nights that we're doing. I've never played it except to, hey, Froyog, Scoop Joey, Scoop Jessica, except to, I've never heard of it except to do research on this thing. Apparently it's a very 80s culture style thing. Hey, Jespertine. Hey, before we get started, of course, we're going to call out, we need some donations for Extra Life in the IWK Health Center here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Seward.ca will take you to the donor page. We're at $10,459.54 raised so far this year. There's still a month left. Maybe we'll see if we can do a Snatcher marathon next month sometime. That'd be nice. That's a Christmassy game. And of course, all revenue from this channel goes to Extra Life. We're at like 43 or 44 subscribers. Let's get that up. Let's get to 50. We haven't done that. We haven't done that yet. We've had a great year. Let's see if we can get up to 50. And remember, you can subscribe for free through Amazon Prime, and you have to re-up that every month. And finally, remember to click the merch link down below. We have shirts, we have phone cases, and we have mugs. And you know you want one of those. All right, let's do this thing. Remember, Jessica, seduce Mia Khalifa. There you go. Not against that. All right. Tell me if the audio is high enough. Tell me if the audio is coming through at all. It seems pretty... Ooh. Open the box. Hey, Vanna. Seems like we just have noise here. Oh, Scoop Joey. Oh, yes. Before we get going, Froyog, Plague Physicians on Bandcamp to buy the song Leviathan. All proceeds from that song are also going to the Extra Life page. So please consider that too. Audio's fine. Jessica, you know your job tonight. All right. This is your grandfather's main living area in a secluded, winterized log cabin deep in the northern woods. The dining table has an order slip from the local pizzeria. Spot is here, lying on the floor. We're going to go south. You're in a small, familiar kitchen. Spot is here, barking at the kitchen counter. And we're going to get a key that I don't see anywhere. You got a key. We're going to go north. This is your grandfather's main living area in a secluded, winterized log cabin deep in the northern woods. The dining table has an order slip from the local pizzeria. We're going to go west. You're in a hallway off the living area. A bedroom is to the south, while the lab door is off to the north. Let's unlock that door. You open the door and rush inside. You're in Gramps' lab. It looks like it could use a good dusting. There's a half-eaten pizza and a fishbowl sitting on the lab bench. You see a book. Yeah, it looks like it will be a screenshot-worthy game. I have this turned way down speed-wise, Sarah Bess. That music just runs really fast for some reason. Hey, Electric Burgers. Okay, so let's see. We're going to take book. See if this works. And picks. Yep, you got a book, and you got a bunch of guitar picks. I'm going to move that out of the way here. We're going to go east. Whoa. Whoa. Hi, Spot. Look at that animation. You're in the eastern part of the lab, standing before a silvery hoop, which is large enough for you to walk through. A generator is bolted to the floor in the corner. Spot is here, leaping through the hoop like a circus dog. We're going to throw, switch. The generator springs to life and a hum of power pulsates through the mysterious hoop. Spot leaps up with a glance over his shoulder, lets loose a little yip as he leaps through the hoop in a burst of bright sparks. Well, we're going to enter the hoop. You get dizzy for a moment, then find yourself in another place. You're in a dirt-filled construction site. A trench running north and south starts here. It appears to be dug by unconventional means. The walls of it are smooth. I didn't fry the dog. It seems that way, but I didn't. You look at Spot and notice he looks radical. He turns to you and says, "Say bye to Spot and low to Ennio. I have arrived. Let's blast." Ennio is following you. Okay. Let's go north. You're in a dirt-filled construction site. A trench heads off to the south. It appears to be dug by unconventional means. The walls of it are smooth. Ennio looks over the edge of the trench and peers in. I've created Poochie. Look trench and take jar. The sides of the sandy trench appear to be fused as if burned by a strong acid. You brush some dirt aside and discover a jar. You got a silver jar. We're going to go south. You're in a dirt-filled construction site. A trench running north and south starts here. It appears to be dug by unconventional means. The walls of it are smooth. Go east. You're on a north and south sidewalk. To the east is the J-Mac Salon, while the construction site is off to the west. Hovering before you is a float phone. Go east again. Whoa, that's radical. You're sitting in a chair in the J-Mac Salon. Off to the east, you see a rack of brightly colored clothes through a doorway. Chaz, Tonetown's famous body stylist, hands you a die-cut diorama. This is great. Let's dye hair. Chaz says, choose a color. We're going to choose pink. Chaz puts a wild streak of pink in your hair and says, now you're looking tone. Better than that John Boy Waltoon look you had. Let's jet back to the teak. The teak. I'm digging this so far. Okay, we're going to east. You're standing in a clothing boutique. Pay here. Oh, look, it's the teak. It says so on the sign right there. John Boy Waltoon. Oh, I get it. Okay. I'm going to buy a hooplet. You purchase a hooplet for 2 picks. Oh, yeah, picks are a currency in this world. I'm going to buy a jumpsuit. You purchase a jumpsuit for 5 picks. We're going to wear our hooplet and jumpsuit. You put on the hooplet. You slip into the jumpsuit. I don't have this set up to save, by the way, so we're taking a risk tonight. This could be a quick game. That's okay. I'll just go play more Tetris after that. All right, we're going to go west. You're sitting in a chair in the J-Mac Salon. Off to the east, you see a rack of brightly colored clothes through a doorway. Chaz, Tonetown's famous body stylist, hands you a die-cut diorama. Yeah, it would be great to have pics of this outfit. I'm going to go west again. You're on a north and south sidewalk. To the east is the J-Mac Salon, while the construction site is off to the west. Hovering before you is a float phone. I'm going to go south. Tonetown Times. You're on the sidewalk right outside the Tonetown Times. Sitting on the sidewalk is a small newspaper dispenser. I'm going to go south again. Oh, look at that. Those earrings are flashing. You're in the main office of the Tonetown Times, the local newspaper. There's a doorway off to the east. The editor is sitting behind his desk working. Apparently that's new you. You look tone. Go print a press pass at a free terminal. You're on photo assignment for the legend. Here's an instant camera. We need a close-up of the Daglets. You got an instant camera. Go east. You're sitting behind a terminal and printer in the newsroom across from Ennio's desk. Okay, the terminal displays the following. Type your name. You hear the printer's carriage positioned to home, and you see the printer's ready light goes on. Type. Do you need a press pass? Yes. As the printer clicks, a press pass appears. Take pass. Ennio the Legend. All right. We're heading west. You're in the main office of the Tonetown Times, the local newspaper. There's a doorway off to the east. The editor is sitting behind his desk, working north. You're on the sidewalk right outside the Tonetown Times. Sitting on the sidewalk is a small newspaper dispenser. We're going to go north again. You're on a north and south sidewalk. To the east is the JMac Salon, while the construction site is off to the west. Hovering before you is a float phone. We're going to go north again. You're on a north and south sidewalk. There's a strange bullet-shaped building to the east and a construction site to the west. Ennio sniffs the breeze like a young puppersnapper. Ennio the Legend. We're going to go north again. You're standing in the center of the town square. To the north are beautiful weeping willows. To the west is a pet store. And to the east is an oval-shaped building. Ennio stands beside you, sniffing the stone path. He lets out a little whine. I'm going to go north again. Whoa. You're standing in a beautiful park. There's a crowd of people here listening to rock music. A band is playing in the bandstand. A woman with pink hair emerges from the crowd near the bandstand and smiles sweetly at you. Ennio looks around and barks loudly, joining in the fun. One ear flops over every so often, endearing him to a passing toner. Okay. Talk Stelgad. She says, "Hi, I'm Stelgad. Knew you told me you were coming." She looks at Ennio and seems awestruck by his presence. "You must be the legend." She looks at you. "Show me your press pass and I'll take you to the Daglets." Show pass to Stelgad. Stelgad takes you by the arm and leads you through the crowd to the back of the bandstand, where the Daglets have just left the stage for their break. You're behind the bandstand. Those are some 80s dues. Drop, key, and pass. You dropped a key, you dropped a press pass. Take photo. Oh, I was making room in my inventory, clearly. You get your camera ready, yell, "Cheese and onions," and snap a photo of the Daglets arm in arm. You got a photo. Drop camera. You dropped an instant camera. Take Zagtone. Zog says, "That's one of our Zagtones. I have an extra. Keep it." You got a Zagtone, whatever a Zagtone is. Do you think that would be a good image? That pointer in the upper left of the screen kind of sucks, but I can't really do much about it. And we're going to wait. We're going to wait another turn. Stelgad walks up and says, "Your break's over, guys. See you later," and escorts you back to the park. You're standing in a beautiful park. There's a crowd of people here listening to rock music. A band is playing in the bandstand. A woman with soft green feathers in her intense pink hair emerges from the crowd near the bandstand and smiles sweetly at you. Who doesn't want a Zagtone, right? We're going south again. Back to the paper. I'm going to keep reading all these anyway. It would look so much better in EGA. You're standing in the center of the town square. To the north are beautiful weeping willows. To the west is a pet store, and to the east is an oval-shaped building. Ennio stands beside you, sniffing the stone path. He lets out a little whine. You're on the north and south sidewalk. There's a strange bullet-shaped building to the east and a construction site to the west. Ennio sniffs the breeze like a young puppersnapper. I guess that's supposed to be like whippersnapper. You're on a north and south sidewalk. To the east is the J-Max Salon, while the construction site is off to the west. Hovering before you is a float phone. You're on the sidewalk right outside of the Tonetown Times. Sitting on the sidewalk is a small newspaper dispenser. One more. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, Scoop Jessica. I might just need to grab an image of the box cover. Or maybe the title screen. I'll go back and get one of the title screen later. You're in the main office of the Tonetown Times, the local newspaper. There's a doorway off to the east. The editor is sitting behind his desk working. Give photo to New You. New You smiles. You've proven yourself worthy of a chance to really work with the legend, New You says, motioning towards Ennio the dog. It seems like our old-time friend and creator, Gramps, is in deep water with Snarl. It's time you and Ennio checked it out. We think he's being held in the tower. When you finally get to Snarl, be sure to sick Ennio on him. Okay. We're going to go north. We are again on the sidewalk outside of the Tonetown Times. We're going to go north again. We are again standing in front of the float phone next to the J-Max Salon. North again. We are standing next to the bullet-shaped building. North one more time. Standing in the center of the town square, and Ennio is whining. All right, now we're going to go west. No, Scoop Joey, if you read up on it, that seems to be what the reviewers were saying, is like people loved it because it was nuts, and then some people thought it was stupid because it was nuts. We're going west. You're standing inside Snarl Pets. There's a glassed-off wall of blob pets making strange squealing sounds. Franklin Snarl sits behind a black plexiglass register, grinning in your direction. There's a small sign near the register on the wall. Ennio appears very nervous. By Blobbo. Franklin Snarl grins, takes 5 picks from you, and brings you a nice little blob pet. He says, this one's name is Blobbo. Cute little fellow. Real purebred. You got Blobbo. Yeah, and I mean, clearly I'm tearing through it. So apparently one of the things that happens, he's drooling. Did you notice there's drool coming off his tooth? Apparently one of the things that can happen is, of course, when you're trying to figure this out, it's a big map. And if the main villain finds you before you get your hair dyed and get your jumpsuit and your new outfit, I think he can kill you. Or something like that. So clearly I'm just following a guide here, but all right, we're going east. Standing in the center of the town square again. We're going to go east again. You're standing in the party supplies shop, a place for party masks. The woman in charge stands behind the counter. Clearly, Hideo Kojima played this game, because this is like Snatcher, where you have to buy party masks. Okay, we're going to buy a mask. It's party day in town. Take a black or gold mask if you like. We're going to take the black mask. I got a black mask. We're going to wear a mask. It's a snug fit, but it is on. Yeah, Jaspertine, there's a few different things in here where if you don't pick up things at the right time, you're screwed. All right, we're going to go west. We're in the town square again. We're going to go north. We're standing in the beautiful park where the Daglets are playing. We're going to go east. You're on a nature trail to hell. That's a Weird Al Yankovic reference, by the way. You're on a nature trail leading through a pretty section of flowers and trees. A sign says, preserve our wooded areas. Please stay on trail. Ennio wags his tail and eyes the birds. I'm going to go north. You're on a nature trail leading through a pretty section of flowers and trees. A sign says, preserve our wooded areas. Please stay on the trail. Anyone wags his tail and eyes the birds. We're going to go west. Still on the nature trail. We're going to go west again. Still on the nature trail. West one more time. Blobbo digs a hole in the patch of sand and finds a card. Then he runs away, leaving the card behind. You're standing in densely treed woods. There's a sandy patch of soil here. A faint path heads east. You see a debossed metal card. Well, take card. You got a debossed metal card. Wow. See, we got some Weird Al fans in here. This is good. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of you being fans. All right. Go north. The conifers close about you in a damp, dim, and densely treed wood. From the north, a strange, musty odor permeates the air, making it thick and heavy. Me too, Sarah Bess. That's a great album. This one didn't that have Eat It on it? And Like a Surgeon, and I Lost on Jeopardy, Nature Trail to Hell. Oh. Ryer the Kaiser. All right. I went north once already. We're going north again. Whoa. The ground feels spongy. Dare to be stupid like a surgeon, right? The ground feels spongy and dust billows up with each footstep. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. A high brick wall thick with ivy is directly ahead. Go east. The ground still feels spongy. We're going to go east again. The ground feels spongy and dust billows up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. A high brick wall thick with ivy is to your left. Go north. I'm going to drop book. And we're going to go south. And take mushroom. North again. North again. Whoa. The ground feels spongy and puffs of dust spurt up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. On your left is a high wooden gate. You notice 2-meter-high creatures near the gate, swaying back and forth. One looks like a nose, the other an eye. They are standing on either side of a brass bell on a post. Buy Me a Condo. Oh my God. I loved Buy Me a Condo. Get a wall to wall carpeting. Get a wallet full of credit cards. Get me the funny little t-shirt with the alligator on. Throw mushroom at eye. The dust cloud of spores from the mushroom floats over the eye creature, causing its large, sad eye to swell shut. The dust cloud of spores from the mushroom floats over the creature's bulbous nose, crippling it in a sneezing fit. All right. East. The woods close around you. Rain begins pelting down in blinding intensity, activating thick dust clouds from the soft ground till it is impossible to see. You stumble out of the area, cold, wet, and gasping for breath as you painfully rub your eyes. Let's go south. The ground is thick and spongy, blah, blah, blah. Dust clouds from your footfalls become denser with every step you take. Huge mushroom growths completely cover the trees in massive glob-like structures, towering about you in silence. The air is so thick you can hardly breathe. The one that we're on right now, the globe shot. I think I'm gonna get a title screenshot. How many times am I going south here? 2, 3, 4 more times. The ground feels spongy and dust billows up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks. A dank, musty odor permeates the air, making it difficult to breathe. South again. Oh, we're getting out of here. The conifers close about you in a damp, dim, and densely treed wood. South one more time. I'm on a nature trail again. South again. Still on a nature trail. Going west. We're back at the concert. South again. We're in the town square. South one more time. Now we're going to go east. Oh, we're in a club. Yeah, Scoop Jessica, I agree. Hey, I told you guys I'll do Karaoke Revolution if you want. I'll sit here and sing. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? The waitress has seated you at a booth and waits to take your order. From where you sit, you can see Fast Freddy's is really hopping. There are dancers whirling around on the dance floor, people eating and chatting at various booths along the walls, while rock music blasts out across the room. There's a small sign on the wall in your booth. You see mitts. Bottle full of bub. All right. Let's see. These streams are Greg torture, not audience torture. Nice. All right, we're going to buy a burger. The waitress says you should try a fizzy with that, and then she brings you a glow burger and places it on the table. The waitress asks, and what will you have, our legendary Ennio? A cold woofie on toast, Ennio says. You know, when we were kids, we called farts woofies. Just saying. Drop picks. You dropped a bunch of guitar picks. Take mitts. I got mitts. Wear mitts. You put on the mitts. Nice fit. Take burger. You got a glow burger. We called them farts. We weren't allowed to say that word when we were kids. My kids, however, love saying that word. All right. I'm going to adjust here. Too fat and old to sit still for too long. All right. We're going west. On the north and south sidewalk by the Bullet Building again. Going north. We are in the town square again. Going north again. We're back at the concert. And we're going west. Ennio says, I smell snarl meat. You're standing in a small clearing. There's a stone wishing well with patches of ivy twining up it here. A sign says, preserve our wooded areas. Please stay on trail. The trail appears to go to the north and the east. Ennio emits a low growl as he circles the well and returns to your side. Well, we're going down. Whoa, hello. Ennio hops onto your back and you grab the handholds. Oh no! You slowly step downward, rung by rung, into the inky blackness. Snarl grabs you by surprise and ends the game prematurely. It seems the game has ended. Would you like to try again? Okay. Interesting. Yes. Oh man, it starts right at the beginning. Okay. This isn't good. How do I save game? Save the game. Game number 0. My game is apparently saved. Let's go south and see if that actually worked. What's load to game? F2. 0. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can do this. We're going to go through this fast. We're going to go back to where we were. We're going to go south. We're going to get a key. Going to go north. Going to go west. Unlock door. Take book and picks. East. Throw switch. Enter hoop. North. Look trench and take jar. South. East. East. Dye hair. Choose pink. East. Buy hooplet. Buy jumpsuit. Yeah, baddie ended the game prematurely. Wear hooplet and jumpsuit. All right, we're going to save. Slot 0. All right. I'm screaming through this. Let's see what happens. We're going west. West again. South. South. Talk. Seduce. Knew you. I don't know how to seduce. Man, what's wrong with these games? Talk. Knew you. Oh, okay. Take camera. So see underneath, it's just a text adventure, right? East. Turn computer on. Turn printer on. Stewie. Yes. Take pass. Oh, what? Type Stewie. Yes. Yes. Take pass. West. North. 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 We're almost back where we were. Drop key and pass. Take photo. Drop camera. Take Zagtone. Wait, what? Save game. Going back to the paper. Give photo to new you. Buy and Blabo. All right, I'm wearing the mask. And now we're going to save again. I probably should have been saving the whole time. But, you know, it's more fun that way. Plus, we've got lots of time. West. North. East. North. West. 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 Take card. North. North. East. East. north. All right. We're almost back to the restaurant. Let's see if we ran into an unwinnable scenario or it's truly just random, because that's crazy if it's just random. Okay. East. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. West. South. Oops. South. East. Here we are. Seduce waitress. Buy burger. Drop picks. Take mitts. Wear mitts. Take burger. And now we're back where we were. More or less. Let's see what happens. Save one more time. And we're going west. And we're going north. And north again. And west. See what happens here. Yeah, I'm here now. Okay. Yeah, I've been seducing too many burgers. I got to stop. Enio hops onto your back, and you grab the handholds and slowly step downward rung by rung into the inky blackness. Hey, thanks for the subscription. Loop Loop Taco. Please pick a game for me to stream sometime in the distant future. Just send me a private message. You're at the bottom of a well. Off to the west, a doorway is carved into the smooth stone wall, heading off into a gloomy, barely lit tunnel. Let's go west. Whoa. You're in a small cavern before a wall of cages containing wild, terrifying animals. To the west, the dimly lit tunnel heads into the blackness. To the east, light filters down from above. A filbert stands here, guarding the cages. Enio sniffs cautiously at the filbert. Go west again. You're at the southern end of a tunnel. Off to the east, you can see a hole in the cave wall, while the tunnel branches off to the north. On the cave wall is a button with a small plaque over it. We're going to go north. Hey, Keenad. You're in a north and south tunnel, whose walls are made of fused stone. Hey, just like the construction site. You go north again. You're in a north and south tunnel, whose walls are made of fused stone. We go north one more time. You're at the northern end of a dark tunnel. A tube extends upward, and you can make out handholds in the side of the tube. We're going up. You pick up Enio and climb up into a tree. You're on Franklin Snarl's estate, standing by a hollow tree. To the north, you can see more lawn. A brick wall is to the south. Enio approaches the jaw dog, gives it a few sniffs, then sits down for a brief chat. Oh, so much seduction potential. Oh, yeah, that's right. It does look like that, doesn't it? All right, we're going to save again. All right. We's going north. You're in the middle of Snarl's huge estate. Lawn surrounds you on all sides, but the west. To the west is a wing of Snarl's house. We're going east. You're at the eastern end of an east and west path through Snarl's estate. A gate in the brick wall to the east can be easily seen. The lawn continues to the north and south. Gonna unlock that gate. You slide open the bolt. The gate remains closed. We're going to open it. Seduce Jaw Dog. You open the gate and quickly slip out of the lawn. The ground feels spongy and puffs of dust spurt up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. On your left is a high wooden gate. You notice 2-meter-high creatures near the gate swaying back and forth. One looks like a nose, the other an eye. They are standing on either side of a brass bell on a post. Bad dungeon design. Did I go east or did I just opened the gate. Okay. All right, we're going to go east. The woods close around you. Rain begins pelting down in blinding intensity, activating thick dust clouds from the soft ground till it is impossible to see. You stumble out of the area, cold, wet, and gasping for breath as you painfully rub your eyes. Oh, playing Phantasy Star 2. I really liked Phantasy Star 2, but it's hard to play today. Going east again. There's a mossy path here that trails off to the north and south. On your right is an old rotted boat. Beyond that, a glimmering lake. To your west are woods. Going south. You're on a mossy path that leads to the north. To your east is a lake. To your west and south are woods. South one more time. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, what's going on? The ground feels spongy and dust billows up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks. A dank, musty odor permeates the air, making it difficult to breathe. Out of the thick air flash red devils, curly neon tubes of lightning. They singe the ground as they strike, coming uncomfortably close to your skin. Take devil. You grasp the lightning bolt firmly and hear a sizzling sound. It jumps about in your hands, but you manage to put it in the jar. You got a jar with a devil in it. The conifers close about you in a damp, dim, and densely treed wood. From the north, a strange, musty odor permeates the air, making it thick and heavy. Whoa. You hear the breathing of a horrible creature sloshing through the wetlands. Long, reedy grasses sway in the wind. The ground is under several feet of water and it's difficult to walk, but you manage to slog through the marsh. You're on a long river which flows from the north and east. Around you, the shoreline melts into boggy marshland. A bubbling noise, a reptilian hissing, antavistic and blood-curdling, comes from behind. You're near the northern end of a long flowing river. Straight ahead looms a magnificent waterfall pouring down into the river. A passable shoreline starts up to the east. You're at the northern end of a long flowing river. Straight ahead looms a magnificent waterfall pouring down into the river, almost deafening you. The Glowburger is starting to flicker. You climb up an embankment to another stretch of shoreline. A high wire fence is to your right. Phantasy Star 3 is actually a much quicker game. I've actually played through that to cover it for Generation 16. All right. What did we just do? East? All right, let's go north again. You're on the high shoreline of a lake. To the east is a barbed wire fence through which you can see mile after mile of plain houses, all the same. A path travels to the north and south, bordering the fence and the water. To the west, the lake looks treacherous as a waterfall crashes down to the south. Ennio hugs the shoreline, staying as clear of the wire fence as possible. You're at the entrance of Ennui Estates. Beyond, to the east, you can see what could only be millions of identical picket fences surrounding identical white clapboard houses. To the west is the lake and a small landing. Our small rowboat is moored there. We're getting very close to the end. Okay, we're going to save one more time. Enter that boat. Ennio hops into the boat right behind you. You're floating in the boat. The current to the north seems to push you to the south a bit. To the south, a waterfall roars as millions of gallons of water pound 100 meters below. You're floating in the boat. The current to the north seems to push you to the south a bit. You're on a section of the lake directly south of a landing for the island of the Tower. That's where we're going, right? The current to the west is rather strong. There were 4 Phantasy Star games before they started doing Phantasy Star Online, although there was at least 1 or 2 Gaiden games, and there were a bunch of Phantasy Star text adventures that didn't come here, but have been translated. I've covered 2 of them on Generation 16 so far. Going north. And those are all prequels to Phantasy Star 2. Before you lies the entrance to the tower. To the east and west is a heavily bouldered area. Your boat is moored to the south. 4 is definitely the best, I'd say. All right, let's go north. We're doing this thing. You're inside a chrome, glass, and steel office complex, an antiseptic and empty tower. An elevator sits off to the west, its door open. The Glowburger stops and disintegrates. You're in a small elevator. Before you are 4 buttons mounted on a plaque. There is a slot beside a top 5th button. Insert card. You insert the card into the slot. Push button 5. I'm super excited to play the first one. The first Phantasy Star is the only one of the first 4 traditional games that I never finished. You feel a slight movement as the elevator starts and then stops again. You're in a small elevator. Before you are 4 buttons mounted on a plaque. There's a slot beside a top 5th button. East. Whoa. Great to see you, whippersnapper. Whippersnapper. Get these cuffs off of me, Gramps says. You're in a vast penthouse. Ennio sits by Gramps' feet and yaps. All right, old-timer, let's bolt out of here. Hit chain with Zagtone. You're in a vast penthouse. Ennio paces around nervously. We gonna jam out of here or what? West. You're in a small elevator. Before you were 4 buttons mounted on a plaque. There's a slot beside a top 5th button. Push button 1. Definitely rushed development because, yeah, it came out like less than a year after 2. I think it was like 7 or 8 months. I don't know if it was a different team or not. I want to say some of the principles were the same. You feel a slight movement as the elevator starts and then stops again. You're in a small elevator, in case you'd forgotten. Before you are, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons with a slot beside a 5th button. East. You're inside a chrome, glass, and steel office complex, an antiseptic and empty tower. An elevator sits off to the west, its door open. Gramps motions towards the boat and yells, "Come on, time's a-wastin'. That snarly thing is going to upset the whole space-time continuum if we don't get to his lab soon." Before you lies the entrance to the tower. To the east and west is a heavily bouldered area. Your boat is moored to the south. Yeah, Gramps, I get it. Chill out. Enter boat. You know, I have to say, I wasn't crazy about a lot of things with Phantasy Star 3. I loved the character sprites in that game, especially the walking animations. There was just something about them, especially the characters that had capes. They just looked really good. Ennio hops into the boat right behind you. Gramps slides into the boat, too. We're going south. You press off into the lake, paddling away. You're on a section of the lake directly south of a landing for the island of the tower. The current to the west is rather strong. Ah, there you go. Still AM1. Different team with an AM1. You fight your way across the current to the west and manage to land the small boat. You, Gramps, and Ennio leap to shore. Before you can tie up the boat, the current pulls it out into the lake, far out of reach. There's a mossy path here that trails off to the north and south. On your right is an old rotted boat landing. I did it again. Beyond that, a glimmering lake. To your west are woods. We're going west. The woods close around you. Rain begins pelting down in a blinding intensity, activating thick dust clouds from the soft ground till it is impossible to see. You stumble out of the area, cold, wet, and grasping for breath as you painfully rub your eyes. How many times have we gone west? Southwest, west. Twice. So we're going west one more time. The ground feels spongy. And puffs of dust spurt up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. On your left is a high wooden gate. You notice 2-meter-high creatures near the gate, swaying back and forth. One looks like a nose, the other an eye. They are standing on either side of a brass bell on a post. This is bizarre, right? Going south. The ground feels spongy and dust billows up with each step. Large mushroom growths encrust the tree trunks, looming eerily in the dim light. A musty odor permeates the air. A high brick wall, thick with ivy, is to your left. You see a book. Well, we're going to take that book. I got a book. We're going to go north. I'm not reading that again. We're going to open gate. Gate creaks open in the dim light. And we're going to save because we are very close to the end of the game now. Hey, Ben, you're here just to see the end of this game. Going west. You're at the eastern end of an east and west path through Snarl's estate. A gate in the brick wall to the east can be easily seen. The lawn continues to the north and south. West again. Be very, very careful now. That Snarl is an extremely tough cookie, Gramps warns. You said it, Buster, Ennio says. You're in the middle of Snarl's huge estate. Lawn surrounds you on all sides but to the west. To the west is a wing of Snarl's house. Well, that's where we're going. Ooh, you're in the house of Franklin Snarl. The place smells of old things, best left unnamed. Even in your light, the place seems dim and dingy. You can hear crackling coming through the doorway to your north. Ennio says, I smell snarl meat. Franklin Snarl attacks Gramps, and they roll about on the floor of the lab. It looks bad for Gramps. You're in the laboratory belonging to Franklin Snarl. It looks oddly similar to the lab in Gramps' house, though it's a much smaller version. A hoop buzzes and crackles in the corner. Franklin Snarl is here. Ennio growls at Snarl. Sick Ennio on Snarl. Ennio corners Snarl and growls like a fighting tiger, holding him at bay. You now know that the legend of Ennio was well-founded. He is fearless. Give me my lab book, youngster, Gramps shouts. I need something from the first few pages. We're going to open jar first. Since Ennio has him cornered, the lightning seems to home in on him and stuns the creature. Give me my lab book, youngster, Gramps shouts. I need something from the first few pages. Give book to Gramps. Gramps grabs the book and immediately sets to fixing the hoop. In a few short seconds, he's done. Let's get that Snarlburger through the hoop and fast. Throw Snarl into hoop. You manage to push Franklin Snarl through the hoop. A great sizzling, as if bacon frying, accompanies his passing through to the other side. You and Gramps wave to each other, and you bend down to pet Ennio's head. So long, whippersnapper, Gramps shouts, waving to you. You keep the cabin and come visit me soon. I'll be right here in Tonetown, waiting. And with that, everything twists and turns. Your knees buckle, and you find yourself on the road a mile or so north of Gramps' cabin. Sitting by the side of the road is a cute little pig, a darling raccoon, and a little crocodile, shedding a few tears. It seems the game has ended. Would you like to try again? So those three creatures are what apparently created Franklin Snarl. No, I don't want to try again. There you go. We're back to DOS. Let's see about getting a screenshot here. See what we can do here. Sure, why not? Activision released it. I think it was Interplay that created it. This game was like nonsense. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Yeah, Ben, you should have been here for this. This was something. So I was looking this up a little bit. Let's see. There's some interesting information on the wiki for this. Let me just go find it here. So, oh yeah, this was made in 1986. Normally I've been saying that in the titles. It was written by veteran Infocom designer Michael Berlin and his longtime collaborator Muffy McClung-Berlin, programmed by Bill Heineman of Interplay in a cooperation with Brainwave Creations. So apparently Tass means cool. From the designer, Muffy and I were employed at Harvard teaching creative writing. The motto of Harvard is Veritas, which means truth. We took to saying very Tass to mean very true or too true. Our students picked it up and started applying it to something that was cool. So very Tass turned into very hip or cool. And that's why it's called Tass Times at Tonetown, or in Tonetown. So, yeah, that was that. I know it's only been an hour, but I'm going to take this time to play a different game for a little while tonight. Not necessarily on the stream, though. So, you showed up just in time to leave, Ben. That was Task Times in Tonetown. So, tomorrow. Let's talk about tomorrow. Now that I've got the sound turned all the way down. What do we got? Tomorrow, I think I might do 18-wheeler. How do people feel about 18-wheeler on the Dreamcast? I did it last year, but I don't think I've done it this year. So, what are we feeling? 18-wheeler on the Dreamcast? People feel like they want to watch that? You've never seen it, Keenad. Okay. Well, there you go. It's a good time. 18-wheeler. We'll play that tomorrow night. Probably play something else to go along with it because it's not a very long game, which is weird since it's a trek across the entire United States. Hopefully my Dreamcast still works. Yeah, Joey, I agree with you. And then on Thursday, we're going to be playing Golf Story. I'm going to be cracking open Golf Story because Joey's been requesting it over and over again for a while now. So, yeah, Thursday night we'll be playing Golf Story. And then next week, for Adventure Night, we'll be playing Uninvited, another Mac Venture game. So I have a couple games to buy for the next little while. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. This was a bizarre game. I'm glad that you got to hang out and watch it with me. Ennio the Great. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for hanging out. Take it easy. Hope to see you here tomorrow night for 18-wheeler on the Dreamcast. Tell all your friends. Good night.